What's up everybody, it's DesertFox back with another straight out of the box, and today joining me is my lovely wife, the tactical unicorn,
Hello.
Unicorn Leah.
Hi.
So not only are you going to get my opinion about the Novritsch SSP1, but you're also going to get hers as well.
Lady opinion, or small hand opinion.
Today we're looking at the Novritsch SSP1. This is a gas blowback pistol. Now inside the box, not only are we going to have the pistol, but there's also going to be a bunch of other stuff that Novritsch sent. I believe it's both types of magazines, because this is green gas and CO2, a holster, and maybe some other stuff.
I like how he has his own Novritsch tape. Man.
That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah.
I want Novritsch to make it big, so that way he can start making bigger things like a Ferrari or something. Because then we get sent a Novritsch Ferrari.
I don't know if he likes us that much.
Please help Novritsch make Ferraris. Alright, inside the box, we've got lots of stuff.
Holy moly.
This is the top accessory rail for the handgun. Oh, what is this? Oh, he even sent a tracer unit.
Whoa!
Yeah, and it's an Ace Tech, which is
Really?
this is my preferred brand of tracer, Ace Tech.
Take that.
Polymer holster, so we've got a holster for the gun. There's a, okay, here we go. So it's a two-piece. This is the drop leg platform and then the actual holster itself. The nice thing that Novritsch realized is you can make a pistol, but if there aren't holsters available to carry said pistol, there's not really a need or a desire to want to carry it around.
So he has all this on his website?
I believe so,
Get
yes.
all of this stuff?
Yep, we've got a red dot for the top rail.
Oh, nice.
See, little micro
Man.
red dot.
Is it also a Novritsch red dot?
No, it doesn't say Novritsch on it. I'm not sure what brand this is.
Oh, it's just numbers.
Yeah. You've got all the magazines, and they are clearly labeled CO2 and gas.
Oh, man, that makes life easy.
Oh, I know, right? I don't know how many times I've been like, what kind of mag is this?
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Brown Box Special.
Yeah, I guess I'll open it and find out.
So this is the enhanced mag well. You can guide your magazine into the magazine well better.
Guide in the magazine well.
We've got our thread adapter for the tracer unit, which is over here. Put that over there. And finally, the gun itself, which it will come in this hard case.
Wow, what a great box already.
Alright, so on the front it says Novritsch SSP1. Inside the case, we have the pistol itself, and it is wrapped in plastic, which is great. I covered this before. These guns are all coming from Europe, so they've got a long way to travel before they make it to you, depending on where you are, honestly. Like if you're in the US, it's obviously traveling a long ways. If you're in Europe or some of the other Asian countries, maybe not so much time, but it is nice that it is wrapped in plastic and it's protected from the elements. Also being inside this hard case, make sure it's also protected from all of the UPS nonsense.
Yeah.
Man, this is pretty heavy.
It looks
Or hefty, I should say. I mean, it's not like super duper heavy where I'm like, oh my god, why would you carry this? But it is a hefty gun. Here, why don't you...
It looks fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could like do curls with this.
I don't know if it's that heavy.
4 pounds maybe?
Yeah, it's pretty beefy.
Yeah, it is.
It's a beefy boy.
Beefy boy. It's a thick boy.
What are your thoughts on how this gun feels?
So, I think 1911s, even when you have a small hand, are relatively comfortable. I think it's the beaver tail makes it a little more comfortable for whatever reason for me. I wouldn't want to one-handed shoot this too much because, like, as you can see, my hand can kind of barely wrap around it on one side. So in order to have more control, I would want to shoot it two-handed for sure. Yeah, it's super beefy and heavy. I don't know, let's shoot it. It's so heavy.
Let's go over some of the features of the gun. On the front, we've got our federally mandated orange tip. The slide is aluminum CNC, and it's got some nice serrations on there. On the lower frame, we do have a Picatinny rail to mount lights and lasers. There is some texturizing on the front of the trigger guard, and we have a skeletonized trigger. I thought this was going to be a replaceable grip, but no, the grip is just kind of integrated into the lower frame. But it does have some nice channeling texturizing going on. Even the magazine here down on the bottom is texturized, which is neat.
I like the mag that it comes with.
That's nice. See here, we have an ambidextrous safety. This is basically a high kappa design. On the left side of the gun, as you're looking at it from the giving side, you've got a elongated slide release, which is nice. So you can do this one-handed. Can you reach that with one hand?
Let's see. Oh, just barely. Oh.
You got it. I mean, you still got
hard,
it.
But my thumb gets caught on the safety.
Okay.
I can't quite make it. It wouldn't be much easier with two hands, for sure. I definitely could not do it in a hurry.
Moving to the rear of the gun, the hammer is steel and reinforced. Our rear paddle safety, and that's pretty much it in terms of the features. Kind of along the lines of like an AW custom type gun. It's got some nice serrations. The bodywork looks really nice. I will say with the weight, it also does make it feel very sturdy. It's definitely...
Yeah, it weighs like as much as our real gun, our real pistol. Maybe more, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it honestly feels like it might weigh a little more.
Let's take a look at the insides real quick. The insides are what everyone is kind of hyped about, or at least that's what Novritsch wants us to really know. The internals are purple, that nozzle. It is a reinforced nozzle. Okay, and to break this gun down, it's just like a 1911. You're going to push out on the slide release, and then this detent will come out. Then you'll take the slide and slowly slide it forward, separating it from the lower receiver. On the inside, we can see the reinforced nozzle, and the reason that Novritsch went with a reinforced nozzle is because he knew he wanted to go with green gas and CO2. Obviously, CO2 runs at a much higher pressure than green gas, so the internals of your handgun need to be also reinforced.
Beefy. It's beefy.
On the lower frame, we have the steel hammer and all these reinforced other parts. I'm not a big pistol internal parts guy, so I'm not quite sure what these are called, TBH. But I do know that these parts are reinforced. Also, the inside of the gun, it's a little dry. I see a little bit of oil on the lower frame, but not inside the nozzle.
I know a lot of times guns have a tendency to dry out during shipping, and so it's always advised that you oil them when you first get them.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of oil inside the nozzle, but definitely need to oil this before you start shooting it, which we will also do. Okay, to put the gun back together, simply line up the slide with this channel guide right here, and then push back on the slide. Take the slide release, put it back into that same hole that you took it out of, push down till you hear that click, let it go, and it should not fly off the lower. And to test it, we're gonna get a rack a couple times. All right, it's good. Function test, point the gun in a safe direction, click. All right, cool. So the gun is now back together. When we bring the slide back, we can see the outer barrel, which has, I guess this is a fluted outer barrel. This is Novritsch's signature on all his barrels.
Yeah, it's fancy. It makes it so aerodynamic and fast.
Let's take a look at the magazine. The magazine holds 31 BBs. I'm not sure if there's any upgrades internally to this magazine, like a higher valve output or anything. We'll have to consult the website for that. This is the mag that came with the gun. We're gonna test it, make sure it doesn't leak. Got some Umarex CO2. To load the CO2, obviously you're gonna take the puncture side, put that side in first into the magazine, take the bottom of it, screw it back in. As you tighten this, you're gonna hear that little psst sound of the CO2 getting punctured, and hopefully this mag doesn't leak. Okay, there was that little psst. Did you hear it?
Yeah, it was really dim.
Okay, all right. Doesn't sound like it's leaking. We're gonna put the base plate back on, just to make sure that it goes on there. Make sure that that lower screw is flush, and it is in there. So let's take a test fire with the SSP1 with the CO2 magazine. first, I'm gonna make sure the gun is safe and clear, visually inspect the barrel, physically inspect the barrel. I'll let you do the same to make sure.
Yes, yes. We're all good here, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're free to shoot.
Okay, magazine in, slide forward. I'm gonna hold the slide catch down so that way we continue to fire. Point the gun in a safe direction, and here's the first shot from the SSP1.
Oh! Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
that's so loud.
It is loud. It is really loud.
Whoa! They will know that you're coming.
The kick is really awesome. Here, go ahead and fire that. The kick is cool. This is a hard kick.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
I could see your arm just rippling from the. All right, take note, sneaky snipers. This is not a sneaky sniper handgun by any means.
You will definitely be found out once you shoot this.
Yeah, this thing is loud, but the kick is really, really nice. I really like the kick.
It's very sassy.
Okay, let's try a green gas magazine and see if the kick is the same. And the green gas we're using is the Elite Force fuel. No leaking that I can hear. Got our SSP1 loaded with green gas. I'm gonna point this in a safe direction and fire. Not as much kick as the CO2. Yeah. Still loud.
Yeah. Still
really loud, but the kick is not as much. Obviously because the lower pressure of green gas. Sounds
like the green gas was already. It's still surprising though.
We're 2 for 2 on mags not leaking. That's really good. The one thing though, where is the hop up? Obviously next we're gonna do the test fire, but I wanna see where the hop up is. Let's take the slide off again and see if we can find the hop up.
Maybe we need to go to novritsch.com/academy.
Here it is, I found it. So it's like a wheel, and on the side it shows the direction in which you need to spin the wheel to give it more hop, which is great. Good job, Novritsch, on addressing that issue. All right, I'm gonna turn the hop up a little bit. So we got the hop up kind of adjusted. On lower end handguns, it's just a guessing game with that dial, and it's really annoying.
Especially if you have to take the slide
off.
Right,
especially if it's gotta come off like this, because then you've gotta constantly do that. So you need to make your adjustment, figure out which way you're going, take the slide off again, and it's just a whole mind-numbing process. Now that we've tested some of the components of the guns, let's test the holster, because this is the holster that Novritsch specifically sells on his website. So let's see how well it fits. Oh, okay. It can be either on a belt or that drop leg. The retention system is this paddle, which locks on the trigger guard. Oh, that fits in quite well. Let's check the retention. All right, it's retaining the handgun well. So when you draw this, you're going to draw, if you're right-handed, obviously you're going to come down, grab the pistol, use your trigger finger to disengage the paddle, and then pull up on the gun. Well, I'm glad this fits really well.
Yeah.
This would probably be pretty hefty once loaded on your belt or your leg.
But it won't fit once you add any accessories.
So we've got the accessory rail here. Once we add that to the gun, it definitely is not gonna fit in this holster. This particular setup with the red dot and this top rail are gonna be more for just handgun only gameplays.
Now it's time to go shooting.
Yeah. Now for everyone's favorite part, the test fire and chrono.
And this is where I get to shoot you, right? With test fire?
We're outside, we've got the chrono set for 0.25 gram BBs. We have Elite Force 0.25 gram BBs. This is the green gas magazine. And let's chrono this. 319 at 1.1 joules. 312, 314, 309, 309. That one didn't read. Nope, not reading. Mag kind of jammed up there for a second. 311, 303. Starting to get all over the place. So we have a slight feeding issue right now with the gun. with the magazine, I should say. There we go. Okay, so this is what's going on with the green gas mag. I took it out of the gun and it is just getting stuck. I don't know why. Might need some lube. But as you can see, when I push down and push up, oh, look, it got stuck again when I did that. Oh, now it's just really stuck. Okay, so that's kind of a big problem. Not sure what's causing that. I hate when magazines do that. It's not good. Definitely when you're shooting at people in game. Now I've got the CO2 mag loaded into the SSP1. Once again, these are Elite Force .25 gram BBs. First shot with CO2. 333. 324 at 1.2 joules, so we jumped up 0.1 joules. 330. 324. 331. 320, 317, 316, 322, 308, kind of a big jump right there. 299. I think the CO2 is starting to run low. Pretty good consistency with the CO2 magazine. I'm going to shoot what's left in the green gas magazine. Hopefully it doesn't misfeed. Alright, there we go. The last shot did lock back to the rear with the green gas magazine. Got the green gas magazine loaded back up with some more BBs. We're going to shoot this for a little bit of distance. Pop-up is slightly adjusted. Oh, stop firing. Oh, we got that jam problem again. Now we're going to load up the CO2 magazine and shoot it for distance. I will say, for barely doing anything to the hop up, the gun is shooting pretty straight with these Elite Force .25 gram BBs. We just finished up the test fire and chrono outside. The only problem that we had was this magazine was not feeding BBs. Oh, there it goes. It just did it again. It just stopped.
Yeah.
So this green gas magazine is not feeding the BBs properly. I want to see if maybe it's just this one magazine or if they're all like that. So I've got one of the other green gas magazines that Novritsch sent. I'm gonna load this up and hopefully we don't have the same problem. Now to load BBs, what's nice is it's just like a high kappa. You can pull the follower all the way down and there's a channel that you can fill the BBs. So let's slowly, oh, it did it with this one too. So it's both, so there's definitely some sort of problem with the green gas mags, and it doesn't feel like, here, feel that. It doesn't feel like it needs oil, it's just getting stuck on something.
Yeah.
Okay,
it seems like it's just at this one point. Was it having that problem before? But it seems like it's just at this one.
Yeah, it's the same with this one too, like it just keeps getting stuck in this one section.
I wonder if just this part needs to be oiled or something?
I mean, let's get some oil and try and figure it out. Got some oil. This is 30 weight oil. This might be a little too heavy, but I mean, at this point, we just need kind of anything to get this going. Oh, there it goes. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Whoop.
Not now. Whoa.
Whoa.
Shot all the way across our house.
Maybe we need to put some iPro on. Holy cow.
No, okay, so it seems like you just need to oil the BB slide.
This oil was way too heavy for this, but at least now we know, just oil the crap out of the magazine. That
should be something I think you do with most pistols though, is you should kind of go through and oil everything, because who knows how long they've been sitting on a shelf or in a container.
Final thoughts on the Novritsch SSP1. I definitely like the weight of the gun. The kick with the CO2 magazines is tremendous and it is crisp. I like all the other features of the gun. The hop up and having the directional arrow helped really well. Even with a slightly adjusted hop up, remember I just moved the dial slightly, it was already shooting fairly straight, which normally doesn't happen with handguns.
I was really impressed also, like you said, the kick on the CO2 is crazy, which is really fun. It's harder to stay accurate that way. It's definitely something that requires some adjusting if you're used to normal airsoft pistols that don't have quite as much kick. So that will take some adjusting to make sure that you are an accurate shot. The only thing that I'm not as big of a fan of is I wish that you could replace these. I wish this was replaceable so that way you could get maybe a slimmer fit for people with small hands like me. It might be a little heavy if you are a newer player or have small arms like me. So holding it up like this for a long periods of time might get tiring, but that just means we need to get stronger.
Hit that gym, brother.
I need to hit the gym. I need to do more SSP1 curls. I like that he has everything on his website accessory-wise that you need with it.
It just takes a lot of hassle out of finding the right holster since he already has it listed.
The aesthetics of every piece of the gun, keeping on par with Novritsch having top of the line things. Aesthetically, everything on the gun is nice. That's the other great part about it. Just aesthetically, it's a really nice gun. You can tell that he's put a lot of thought into the whole process of how it looks and how it performs.
Now I saw online that a lot of people were just comparing this to a basic upgraded or aesthetically upgraded TM high kappa or just a high cap in general. At least you know that the two main parts that you need upgraded have already been upgraded in the gun. So just like with the Novritsch SSG24, you're paying for something that's already been worked on. It takes away the labor that you would have to do as the person who wants to do all the customization, and it's already done for you.
Especially if you are a bit of a newbie or not super into high kappa builds like me, then you can have a top of the line high kappa without having to like wade your way through everyone telling that you're stupid because you don't know how to build a specialty one.
Definitely a recommended on my list. How about you?
Yeah, now if I can just figure out how to get one.
I don't know. That's gonna wrap up this straight out of the box. Special thanks to my lovely wife, Unicorn Leah, for helping me review the SSP1. Make sure to check out her channel for all sorts of behind the scenes. As always, this is Jet DesertFox, and I'll see you on the field.